And President Zuma said that we must make follow-up on the discussions that were being raised there. So I went to Malawi to see former President Joyce Banda, and I spent...
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Once again, welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trendy news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. Please do understand that I'm not a politician. I do not have deep knowledge in politics. However, I am a South African citizen who's also a voter, and I do believe that my views count when it comes to political affairs of our beautiful country. You see here, this is worrying a bit, because what Floyd is saying here is like he's putting the name of former President Jacob Zuma, the president of MK, just sliding it in as the person that sent him to Malawi. And according to this video clip, I'm not getting the solid reason why he met Bushiri, why he couldn't resist going to the church, knowing the implications that might come as the Secretary General of the opposition party in South Africa. Do you understand what I'm saying? This gives substance to the things that are being said by your people, like Mary Paddy saying Floyd is causing problems within MK. That is my take, but you are allowed to share your own views in the comment section, because there's a reason why I am saying so. Because him trying to put the name of former President Jacob Zuma as the person that sent him to Malawi, it contradicts the statement that was issued by MCKENZIE, which I'm about to share with you. I will share the video clip of Floyd trying to explain, defending his going to Bushiri church. That's one. Number two, I'm going to share what Minister of Justice, Minister Kubai, said. And then after he reprimanded Floyd for going there, then MK issued a statement saying they distanced themselves from Floyd's trip to Malawi. Said he went there on his own personal capacity. So now when you hear things like this coming back again with the name of former President Jacob Zuma trying to be put as the person, I'm not going to say he said he sent him, but that's the context you get from what Floyd is saying. So now this causes confusion. Now, you are left with the question, why did Floyd go there? And somebody said they will get rid of Floyd and he's making it easy for them. And if this is the case, if now this is just Floyd saying things that are not true, taking the statement that was shared by the MK on with his X account and other platforms, it shows that it shows signs of confusion. I don't know what it is. I don't know, but do share your own views in the comment section, because according to this, I must agree with the person that is saying they will get rid of Floyd. There is already divisions about his position as a Secretary General, you see. And I have noticed that if MK sees that you are working against their vision, they are not scared to take you down. Yesterday, MANYI was just taken down. So even Floyd is not without, is not untouchable. Is not untouchable. They will touch him and you would be left. No, I don't understand this. So please do share your own views in the comment section. Why the contradiction? Because I also noticed that the MCKENZIE account on X shared this video as well. So I don't know whether they support the views of Floyd Shivambu, or they are just showing us this is what he said. So I feel like this is going to backfire. I feel like we're going to see a lot happening against Floyd in some days to come. I don't know when that is, but this does not look good. So whatever your views are, kindly share them in the comment section. I am not going to be coming back with more commentary. I'm just going to leave you watching what Floyd said, what Minister Kubai said, and that statement of I'm going to put it in the end, the statement of MCKENZIE, where they wrote saying, we distance ourselves, they distance the MCKENZIE party from Floyd's visit. Whatever your views, guys, share them in the comment section. To have a beautiful day.
Informed you to go and see someone who's wanted, who's a fugitive?
So, in March the 21st, we visited Namibia with President Zuma. So when we were in Namibia, in the table that we were sitting in after the official inauguration, we were sitting with former President Joyce Banda of Malawi. Yeah. And we're also sitting with the incumbent Deputy President Michael Usi Malawi as well. And then we had, because we are in a table, small talk, exchange contacts. And President Zuma said that we must make follow-up on the discussions that were being raised there. So I went to Malawi to see former President Joyce Banda, and I spent a lot of time with her. And then I went to see incumbent Deputy President Michael Usu, had very meaningful discussions. And both are a proper leadership which can change the politics of Malawi if they were to be given whatever responsibility they can be given in the future. But also here in South Africa, we had been in discussions with one of my former colleagues in the Pan-African Parliament called Enoch Chihana, who is one of the presidential candidates there. So we want to have a political discussion whose outcomes we will communicate once we are mandated to communicate in terms of what were the discussions. And after that, I went to see Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and to have broad discussions. I know him, like we used to have interactions when he was here in South Africa. And then he said that I'm going to a church service later on. Let's go. Where am I to could refuse to go into church? Like I've been to so many churches. I've been to the Nazareth Baptist Church. I've been to so many churches in South Africa. And what I was even interested about is that during my visit there in the Easter period, there were more than 5,000 South Africans were in Malawi to go to the church specifically, not for a political program that was there for. More than 5,000 South Africans that were there to visit the church. I'm not a law enforcement agency. And as far as I'm concerned, there are no issues. There is no directive in Malawi. The Church of Shepherd Bushiri is protected by the Malawian state. His households are protected by the Malawian state in terms of what happens. He plays a huge role in terms of development of Malawi, in proper investments that are happening there, and appreciated by the people of Malawi. Yeah. I went to the church because who am I to refuse to go to the church? I had to go to the church, and I didn't speak anything at the church. I just attended to listen to the sermon. But the optics, Mr. Shivambu, you are a leader of the official opposition in South Africa. Yes. And this individual is a fugitive from law in South Africa. So those optics, and on top of it, your party issues a statement dissociating itself. Yeah, I think the unfortunate statement was out of the misunderstanding as well of what got to transpire in terms of the visit itself. And I'm not a law enforcement agency, one, but two, factually, there is no court ruling in Malawi which South Africa has been pursuing to declare or characterize Bushiri as a fugitive. If there was such, the Malawian government was going to hand him over. But I'm saying to you now that if anything, the Malawian state is protecting him like in terms of his own security, in terms of what gets to happen. And if the South African government wants to pursue him, they know what processes they must follow, they must deal with, and everything else there. By the way, I can go to any church, even of convicted criminals. Like whichever church I want to go to, I can go to any religious institution as long as I believe that is a correct thing to do and everything else there. Like I'm not the only person who does that. I say to you now that there were more than 5,000 South Africans who were registered to participate. But they're not the Secretary General of MK. Yeah, they're not Secretary General of the MK, but I have the permissibility to go to any religious institutions. I, by the way, don't know what criminal offenses the other people whose churches have visited have committed in the past or have got to participate in. But I went to Malawi for a political program which was mandated and was very impactful in terms of the Pan-Africanist program and agenda which Mkhonto Sizwe is in pursuit of uniting Pan-Africanist and progressive forces all over the world and in the continent in particular. And Malawi is of particular interest because in the struggle against apartheid, Malawi associated with the apartheid government under Hastings Banda, the president there. They openly supported apartheid. They had full economic cooperation with apartheid. And we can't have a Malawi that is not part of Pan-Africanism, of a Pan-African developmental project. So the politics of Malawi must be contested and guided from that point of view. So that is what we're busy with in Malawi. I thought I must clarify this because people thought that I was in a religious pilgrimage. I was not in a religious pilgrimage. I was in a political.
Does have a responsibility. As a leader, you don't just have only leadership. When you assume leadership responsibilities, you have obligations, you have responsibilities that you do. And that's why speaking out, because we understand that they are followers. And at the time we issued a statement, Mkondo Esizwe had not yet issued a statement. So we were worried that even the party's members might think this is the right thing to do. A fugitive is a fugitive. You can't want to distance, to associate yourself with somebody who has run away from the law.
Yeah. Does this, do you think, embolden Pastor Shepherd Bushiri?
I think so, because I watched what he said in the clip that he praised Floyd, which he posted on his social media. He argues that South Africa is pursuing black investors. He is not an investor. If he believes he's an investor, he must come to the South African courts and answer these charges that he has.
Yeah.
Because we do believe that there's a case for him to answer. Otherwise, NPA would not have gone to court. Now, he makes a comment that we believe or we praise white investors at the behest of black investors. That can be correct. You have a person who is not even a South African, who has the nerve and audacity to insult us as South Africans and our own systems as a country. And you have a South African leader sitting there, clapping hands. That can be accepted.
Does Floyd Shivambu then have to face some sort of recourse or any kind of disciplinary action or the like? Not because he's a member of cabinet, not because he's ultimately even a citizen that holds political office of the country ultimately, but only of a political party itself. Is there any kind of recourse that ultimately he faces off the back of this, or is this going to have to be handled by the MK party?
We will leave that to the political party that he belongs to. From a government system and legal framework, we can't charge him, we can't do anything. And that's why we are issuing a statement to say we have a responsibility as leaders to uphold the rule of law, but to promote justice within our country, to ensure that people from outside South Africa don't continue to undermine our country because they think that is a banana republic